Starry Starry Night. Paint your palette pink and green, expressing deeply what you mean, particularly affecting Don McLean.
So today we're going to make Starry Starry Nights from Confections of a Closet Master Baker. And it's on page 71. Get back here.
It was very serious.
Okay, stop it. Okay, today Agnes and I, Gesine, we're going to make Starry Starry Nights while we drink mimosas from Confections of a Closet Master Baker. You can turn to page 73. So Starry Starry Nights are gluten-free, chocolatey, truffly, wonderful cookie. Really easy, a few ingredients. It just takes a little time because you have to freeze them once in a while to go through the process, but you'll see. So we're gonna start now. Yeah! I have here 8.2 ounces of bittersweet chocolate, and most bar chocolate that you get at the grocery store or the ones, the little nubbins you can buy, they'll have the ounces on the bag or the little paper thing. So they usually come in ridges. You'll see when you take it off, and for your pleasure, ridge for your pleasure. And then you just can kind of guesstimate, but I use a scale. So 8.2 ounces of bittersweet chocolate, the best quality you can find. And then in this, we're going to put 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this on a double boiler.
Okay.
You know what a double boiler is?
The stack and the stack?
Yeah,
The water underneath.
the water underneath.
Steam.
So it's a gentle melt. You don't want to burn your chocolate.
Okay.
And so we're going to melt our chocolate on top of a double boiler for a little bit. So
Okay.
there's it here. You want to put it on top?
Yes.
There you go.
Perfect. So how do you know if it's burning?
Well, you will see it on the bottom. It will start to smell, and it'll start to stick to the bottom and look like it's it'll look like it's burning. I mean, it'll be stinky too. But if you are doing what you're doing and incorporating the butter, that helps. The chocolate has it will melt faster than the butter.
Okay.
It melts, you know, it's
Yeah.
got a different ratio for melting. So while you're doing that, I'm going to get the cocoa powder.
Okay.
So it's a tablespoon of non-Dutch process cocoa.
What is non-Dutch processed cocoa?
Well, so it's natural cocoa. Dutch process is an alkaline process that takes out, it kind of gives it a darker color, but it gives it a more mellow flavor. It's supposed to smooth out the flavor of the cocoa and make it more soluble, but I think it takes out a lot of the flavor. So my favorite chocolates are always non-Dutch process because they're more chocolatey.
So could I get that at the grocery store?
Yeah, you can get all of this stuff at the grocery store. It's not a big deal though if you can't find non-Dutch processed cocoa. Either will work. That's just my preference.
Okay.
We can turn this off, leave it there.
It's okay?
Let's go back and stir it every once in a while.
Okay.
We're gonna grind the almonds, the slivered almonds, which is 5/8 of a cup, which is a little confusing, but it ends up being 2.6 ounces of slivered almonds.
Okay.
And we're gonna mix it with half of the sugar. So we're going to mix it with half of the sugar because when you put a little sugar, when you're grinding almonds, all the little granules help like break it up faster and stop it from becoming a paste. You know how the nuts will become pasty.
Okay.
So we'll put half in there,
Okay.
and our sugar is 1/4 of a cup plus 1 tablespoon. So you'll just like let's get like a quarter cup, and you can guesstimate. As long as you have the right amount of sugar in the whole recipe, it's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So that's 1/4 of a cup, and then we got a tablespoon.
Okay.
So in this one, we're going to crack 2 eggs. Yeah.
Ooh,
Did you
nice. Start
no
the
show?
process.
Judy? Yeah. We're going to put honey in here. So before we do that, let's measure out a tablespoon of sugar and dump it in there. No big deal. And now we want a tablespoon of honey. Yeah, yeah, a little less. It looks a little too rounded.
Hey, that's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
That's not bad. I'll take it.
You're fearless. Okay, let's get another spoon.
Right.
And then we'll put a little bit that's in the 1/4 cup in there. And then we're going to beat these until they're fluffy.
So, Gesine, why would you be putting in honey when you already have sugar?
Well, honey's a humectant. It adds moisture, so it's going to be more moist as a cookie, but it also lasts longer. It's also a natural preservative.
Oh,
The Romans used to preserve fruits in honey.
I love it.
Yummy! Okay, might as well put in 1/2 teaspoon of salt while we're doing that before we forget it.
So this is when we
Okay,
put in our salt.
yeah.
All right. For how long?
Until it gets light and fluffy.
Oh.
About 5 minutes.
Seriously? Like, oh, what do we do?
Since it's so loud, we'll make it louder.
Okay.
We'll put the almonds in there in a food processor with the blade. It's ready to go. And the rest of the sugar.
Sugar.
And we're making almond flour, which is just ground almonds, but we've added the sugar. So it should look very fine. You don't want any big chunks in there.
Could you use like an almond flour, say that you got at a grocery store? Or
Yeah,
is this, okay.
you could. You just measure out the 2.6 ounces, and you just can't forget the sugar.
Okay.
Because you need that amount of sugar, the quarter cup, and the tablespoon of sugar in the whole recipe. Hey now, so it's looking much lighter, fluffier, ready to go.
Perfect.
But first we're going to add our almonds before we do that.
We're going to do what?
Add the almonds.
Oh, into here. Okay.
Okay. So we're going to put them in. Make sure when you're folding in the almonds and all the other ingredients that you keep scooping up the bottom of the chocolate, because if you leave any chocolate on the bottom by itself, it'll get really, really rock hard. And as you're scooping your cookie, you'll notice that there's this blob of chocolate. You know, you've just missed your chocolate. You want it in the rest of the.
This is a stupid question, but no question is a stupid question.
Not
Can
true.
you
There are some stupid questions.
Over stir this?
No.
No, it
No.
won't ruin it.
Well, you know, it's gluten free. And one thing about gluten is that as you stir it, it creates more gluten and it can get more rubbery.
So that's what I was, okay.
Yeah, so
All right.
this doesn't have gluten in it, you're fine. So now we're going to add eggs. And this is what I suggest when you add, this is still warm.
Okay.
And what can happen is if you add the eggs all at once and too quickly, then you'll get scrambled eggs.
Gotcha.
So what I like to do is I'll go really fast and add just a little to temper, which means you're essentially kind of melding the two temperatures together. So we've got a little in there, right? Now we can add the rest.
Okay.
Add the rest.
That was good.
Yeah. This is a process called folding. It's, you know, it's not a light and fluffy cookie, so you don't have to be terribly gentle.
Okay.
And you also want to make sure that you don't see any white stripes of egg still in there. You want it all incorporated.
Okay.
So go to it. You're folding beautifully.
Thank you.
So you'd be able to fold something very delicate as well. So make sure you're grabbing the bottom as well. Just, yeah.
There we go.
Okay. So this is the long part of the process. Is we have to make sure that this batter is hard enough to scoop and dip.
Okay.
So we're going to refrigerate it for at least an hour, and we'll see when we next bake together what it feels like.
Perfect.
Yeah. Refrigerator.
How long can you keep it in the refrigerator for?
As long as you want, until it grows mold.
Ah.
That's part of the So when you scoop, this is how hard. Look, you can barely make a dent in that. So it's like nice and hard. So we've been scooping these, and what you want to do to make the perfect scoop is get a nice bunch in your scooper, and this is the perfect size.
Is that a melon baller or an ice cream scooper?
This is actually a cookie scooper, a very small one. A melon baller wouldn't work because melon ballers don't have this nifty thing, and this is really sticky. So you want to release it.
Okay. Do you have to butter this at any point in time or anything?
No, but once in a while you have to clean it because it does get goopy.
Okay. Okay.
And then you dip it once, and you place it. You want to try it? Load it up, and then you can scrape it on the sides. Then scrape it on the sides to make it sure. You want it a really, and scrape it on the other end so both ends. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey, now is that good?
Okay, I think you just still need a little more. So.
Oh, aggressive cookie.
See? Beautiful. dippy. And you do want to space them. I mean, what you should do is space them so that they all have room. You don't want them to be crowded and to what is it called when they bake? You know,
I can't get them in there.
Use your.
It's my dodgeball arms.
It's your. No, you're a lefty.
Oh,
Maybe you need a lefty scoop.
Southpaw scoop.
Southpaw scoop.
Oh, they're pathetic.
Okay, that just looks so bad. Okay.
I don't have the scoop. I can dip in sugar.
Yeah, you can dip in sugar. Another trick I do if I'm feeling extra lazy and I don't feel like washing it is I'll put the scoop in sugar and I'll coat it.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. I'm lazy that way. Okay, so what is this? You are the most anal retentive person I know. What's going on?
I wanted to see what would happen.
No.
Well, catch on fire and make stinks and I'll burn it.
Okay, again, look at. One thing is not like the other. Make it in a row.
Okay.
Oh lordy.
Wait.
I'm so disappointed.
Well, here's how close can they be like this?
So this is going to be this is going to be our last. They probably won't spread that much, but I like to be ultra cautious.
Gotcha.
So this will be our last row, and so you just look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and see.
Okay. All right.
Oh come on.
Not very good at this.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked. My influence in the mimosas have totally screwed this up. Okay, so now we're gonna put these in the freezer until they get rock solid.
Okay.
And that's a mistake people make, is that they get impatient, like we all tend to
Right.
when it comes to chocolate.
Okay.
And then they take them out too quickly and they bake them when they're too soft. You want to make sure that they are frozen, because what we're gonna do after they're frozen, we're gonna dip them once more in sugar.
Once more. Okay. So just for an idea, if I have a party coming up, how long does it take for these to freeze? Like an hour, 2 hours, 45 minutes?
Probably an hour to 2 hours.
Okay.
But why don't you just make them way ahead of time and keep them in your freezer?
Oh.
You could make like a ton of them and just keep them in the freezer, because all you have to do is then just dip them again and shove them in the oven.
Perfect.
And you're done. Come on, Poo Poo. Okay, so now we're frozen. So here, feel. It bakes better that way. You want it to maintain a shape. You don't want it to spread out. And some people, they go, oh, the cookies spread. I'm like, because you don't listen to me.
Got you.
Frozen. And then you're also going to be dipping them once more in sugar. This makes them the Starry Starry Nights, so that they sparkle and glisten.
Perfect.
Yeah. 2 times. Always better.
What happens if you do it 3 times?
If you do it 3 times, it gets too crusty, and if you want to give them away as presents, then the crust falls off in the bag, and so you have Starry Night goo on the bottom of the bag, and then just this brown cookie.
Gotcha. Yeah, when was the last time you ate a gingerbread house?
Last year.
No, seriously, did you really?
Why make a gingerbread house if you're not going to scarf it?
I don't know, because they're stale and they're covered in dust.
Nice. Now we're going to put them in the oven for 5 minutes, and then we flip them around for 5 minutes more at 350.
Okay. Why do you flip them?
You flip them so that they bake evenly. Most ovens don't bake evenly, no matter how new or fancy. So and it's chocolate. Chocolate burns quickly, and I like it to be even, Steven, and beautiful.
Gotcha.
And some ovens aren't calibrated perfectly. So if you find that the sugar isn't cracking, if it still looks a little wet, keep it in for a few minutes longer. It's not a big deal. You just don't want the bottoms to burn. Starry, starry nights. Here they are. Nice. Yeah, so they've got the crackle, at the bottom. Oh, nice and pretty. Katie, look at that. Look at that. That's tasty goodness.
Nice.
You want one? Yeah.
It is one. Turn around.
What?
They're so good. It's funny because, you know, salt is one of those things. I'm hung up on this butter and the salt thing. When it's baking, you can never taste it. It's just so subtle.
Salt?
You know what I mean? Salt. It's such a funny
You can
thing.
taste it when there's too much, though.
Right.
But
It
salt,
balances it.
well, salt brings out flavor. Salt brings out flavor in chocolate and everything. So when something is under seasoned, it tastes bland simply because it meshes with the flavors. But when it's over salted, that's all you taste.
And then the sugar on top.
Crispy.
They're perfect. Nice work. Congratulations.
Thank you for baking with
Doing
me.
good. No,
Yeah.
thank you for having me. It was a treat.
I'll let you take some home.
All of them.
Maybe.
Perfect.
I'll save
Watch my
some.
pockets as I leave. Oh.
No. You can find this recipe in Confections of a Closet Master Baker. Yes, I named it that on purpose.
Oh, they would not listen, they did not know how. I'll bet they listen now.
If you were any quarterback, who would you be? Franco Harris. I don't even know if he was a quarterback. So John Denver.